All right, what's going on, guys? I'm live, and we're gonna be starting the show very, very soon. It's gonna be a little different today. We've had the same format, the same setting for a long time, so I hope you guys enjoy. We're gonna be looking at the bigger picture today. This is your ES. It opened up already, and you can see it's marked for September 8th, which is tomorrow morning. And, it looks like we're right here at this basing area, but what I'm gonna do today that's a little different is I'm gonna go over my focus list first. We're gonna get right to the good stuff. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm watching and why we are watching it. And then I'm gonna zoom out on a macro level, and I'm gonna show you exactly why I think we need to take heed in this area. Of course, I'm always bullish. I'm always bullish in almost all scenarios until we break the 21-day moving average, but I do like to put on my Grizzly Adams, my bear face, and make sure we see the bigger picture. So we'll be going all that very, very soon. If you're just dropping in, make sure you say hi. Give me a vote on the poll there. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I am trying to grow this channel, and the last I checked, I gotta tell you guys, you're absolutely killing it for me. We're doing great. We're doing great. I absolutely love it. I'm doing what I love in front of you, and you guys have been staying very, very active. What's up, Jimmy Brighton, Yosef? It's good to see you guys. It's 9 o'clock already. I think we jump right into it. Let's get going, guys. So we're gonna start off right away with this watch list. I wanna make sure that we get through this watch list and we take our time on it, because I want everybody to see what I'm seeing set up. Kind of had to have a little revert here. I was talking to a couple of the guys in the chat, and they pointed out some good things, kind of, steering. I want to stay on my roots, and that's the leaders in the overall market. So I'm going to show you some leaders, some things I think is setting up, and then of course some things that are kind of future outlooks, some things that are setting up, okay? And some things that are already taken off, but we're waiting for another setup. So let's just get, what up, G? I was just talking about you, actually. So let's start with HNGE. Now this is in the healthcare sector. I will show you guys the healthcare sector very, very soon. Like I said, we're gonna be zooming out, and the healthcare sector is very interesting compared to the rest. And HNGE, this is a newer IPO, creating those new higher lows, and it's holding that 21-day moving average relatively well. So it's one thing that I'm keeping an eye on. I have the base breakout set up here at $58, but you can also see here, if we just do the old switcheroo on this trend line, it's also setting up as a nice flagging formation. So the only thing I don't like here is if we focus on canceling criteria, we're not getting much EPS or sales growth. Yes, we got to 50%, but they're not, they're not consistently making money. They're not showing growth on EPS and sales. And, we want to see a couple more quarters. But so far, it's looking good. If you believe in the healthcare sector, HNGE is definitely one I have on my watch list. I know Torque has it on there too. What's going on, Zamora? It's good to see you. One that I have been talking about for a while now. I did get a little shit because this is a slower mover. If you want to take a faster mover for Google, you can do the 2X bull, which is GGLL. This moves 4.37%, but let's just look at Google itself. We've talked about Google multiple times setting up this beautiful cup and handle. It's set up, it formed a base, it broke out. It's set up, it formed a base, and what do you know? It broke out once again. This is a beautiful cup and handle. If you aren't studying these and you want to start right here, I would say start right here on Google. It was absolutely perfect. I called this out in the chat. We talked about it quite some time. It did end up stopping me out. I'm just going to go over it really quick. We had this pullback here, and it stopped me out at break even, right at my basing area. So I didn't even give it that time. I just set my stop rather than kind of giving it a little bit more room to play here. It closed under that 10-day moving average. So I was forced to close that trade regardless. And it really sucks because if you look back on this, it's held that 21 multiple times after its first basing breakout. So Just make sure that when you're taking these trades, you give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, because this right here could have stopped multiple people out from getting into this base. This right here stopped me out from this base breakout. It's just a simple retest. And now it's just continuing and climbing higher, especially, wow, you know, it's just such a beautiful move. I wish I was still a part of it. I was telling the guys in chat, you know, that's 3K. That's 3K I missed out from, not even from here, just from this gap up. That was $1,000 candle there. That was $1,000, you know, and it does hurt. And I am thinking of it in a monetary sense, because, you know, I think we all do in the end. But you know, it is what it is. This could have continued. It could continue to capitulate higher, but I can't play it right now, and I won't allow myself to chase, and I know none of you guys will either. The next one is A-Lab. I know a lot of us have been keeping an eye on A-Lab. This is definitely shaping up to be a leader in the chips, because if we look at our original leader, NVIDIA, you can see it's back below its 50-day moving average. Also, you can see AVGO, the other one I identified as a leader, still showing leadership signs, but giving back quite a bit of its day move. But you can't argue with this price action here. It's definitely saying, hey, look, we have EPS, we have sales growth, and we are going to continue higher. So this might be a temporary pullback. I don't know. We'll see in the long run. But if this thing shows signs and starts to set up in here one more time and gives us a way to enter with proper risk reward, but you can't just buy it here. I can't just buy it here, because this thing could just fail. It could just go right back down in there. So I would just definitely be careful, but definitely keep AVGO and A-Lab on your watch list, because I mean, these things are strong in compared to the overall market and the overall sector, which is SMH, and you can see a nice basing pattern forming there. This is another one we've had on our focus list for quite some time now. IREN, look at that beautiful basing pattern. This right here is where I played this. This is almost like a 5-star setup for me. Another tight day here before the breakout would have been even better. But I got into this. I stopped out of half of it at break even and then sold the last half here. So I actually took a small loss on this and was not able to get back into IREN. I know quite a few of us were watching it, but look at the EPS and sales growth here. You know, it's one of the data processing services, which obviously, if you believe in AI, you have to believe in the quantum the need for data processing. It's very high right now, and you're going to see a lot of people benefiting from that, companies benefiting from that. 99 RS rating, it still looks really good, and it looks like it's starting to set back up here, so it might be an interesting play in the near future, but it's definitely one that I want to continue to keep an eye on, as it's still an early mover. Let's see, another one, APP. You know, I've been watching this for a long time. It's been haunting me. I've not made money on APP, and it has been a beautiful mover. Look at this beautiful basing breakout here, and then it just rips right through. Like, this is, I cannot play APP, but I cannot deny the fact the EPS and the sales growth on this thing are absolutely amazing. It's trending higher and reaching that area that just kind of like Google, where, you know, you make this cup, if it trades sideways, gives ourselves a little handle, then we are good to go. What's going on, Hopper? What's going on, Mama? Good to see you. The next one is CBRE. I found this one really interesting as well. As you can see, there was multiple areas to get into this. You can see the earnings and sales were right at its cup. Took it much higher and then created this like high tight flag, right? Trend break into a base break into a retest, and now it's climbing higher. So it really is just trending overall. Like, if we just smooth the whole, you know, ups and downs out, we just follow the 21-day moving average. I mean, that right there is what you want to use. So use your risk management, calculate it properly. This basing breakout has already been tested and proven that this area is strong, and you can use that 21-day moving average now as an area of risk if you wanted to. But it's looking good. It's trending higher, and this is in the real estate development. The EPS and sales growth are slowly climbing, so it's looking good as well. We also have Frog. Now, this is actually one that I hold. Frog is looking good. I tried this multiple times to get into this. The reason why I really liked Frog after it shook me out was simply because it did this fake shakeout where it cleared this huge area of consolidation, and then a fake breakout, which then gets all of your longs back out after it flushes. So it's just shaking everybody out here, and then it starts to consolidate. It gets really tight at this basing area, and then it breaks out. So I've been holding this. I held it all through that pullback where I got stopped out of the majority of my other trades. But this is why we buy right and we sit tight, and I'm still holding on to this. You know, it's not in the best sector right now. As you guys know, technology's doing a little bit of a pullback, but Frog is holding up. I believe it's a niched package software service sector, but you know, price action tells all, and this thing is showing well. It's showing that it's strong, and it's showing that it's very respecting its 10-day very, very well. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what's going to happen. You know, its future guidance is actually lower, so they're going to have to beat, I think, in order for Frog to continue higher. But I do expect to be out of the majority of my shares by the time earnings comes up. Next one is COMM. You want to talk about a frustrating stock, something that's annoying? Well, you can take a look no further. I got into COMM, and you can see right here, if I had to do best case scenario, here, I'll even do an instant replay for you. Like, best case scenario for me is right here on this day, okay? This is not where we are currently at. I'm just doing a replay of this, okay? COMM is in your telecommunications sector, which, if you don't know, the communications sector, XLC, is absolutely screaming higher. It's one of our leaders next to gold and silver. And COMM is in relations to telecommunications. So you can see right here, this is, to me, is a 5-star trade, right? 5-star, huge EPS and sales growth, unexpected, you know, huge 77% and 10%, huge. It holds all of its gains over the night. It even climbs higher and then forms a base. That base forms new higher lows here, 1, 2, and 3. Next thing you know, it gets really, really tight. Look at that, 3 days tight. And now I'm expecting it to break out. So what happens? Let me just hit the play button for you here. Boom, it gets even tighter the next day, folks, even tighter the next day. I really wanted to add into it even more this day, but you know, with the market the way it was, kind of chopping around, I did not, and throughout the week, I've held the same amount of shares, has not closed below the 10-day moving average, and only has gotten tighter. So it's very frustrating to see everything else around you moving up and this thing just doing a slow creep higher, because a part of me is like, one bad day, this thing could just gap right on down. So I only have 4% of my total equity into this stock. So I don't have a lot risked, but you know, if this thing really starts to work out for me and starts to set up again, I'll have some room. I'll be able to add into it, add a new basing structure. But until then, I'm really not trusting this. I mean, the EPS and the sales growth just aren't there. They're you know, they have a forward guidance that's saying they're going to be at 12%. This is not what I should be in right now. You know, this is one of those things where you know, I have trusted companions that are in my Discord that like to call me out on my shit sometimes. You know, I preach leaders. I preach, you know, momentum leaders. This, you know, it all looks good. The price action looks good, but I want to see EPS and sales growth. This may be, you know, looking well, but I don't necessarily consider this a leader. Like, if we zoom out, I mean, there's plenty of this overhead. It's just not, I'm not proud of myself with this. Now, that the highest volume ever candle, you know, that's something to talk about. You know, there's a lot of volume there that's showing institutional buying. That can't just be you or I. So, you know, I could sit here and argue with myself all day. I really could. But in the end, price action is king, and I've been reminded of that too. And you can see here, this price action is showing relatively strong compared to the overall market, 99. We've already had earnings with the highest volume ever. I'm going to keep on holding COMM, but I'm not going to allocate any more funds to it because it's not a 5-star convicted trade, because we're not getting the cancel them criteria with your EPS and sales growth. What's up, Tom? It's good to see you. I see you in that chat all the time, brother. I hope you're doing well. He says run. Let me run through the rest of my chats here, and we'll definitely go through any tickers that you guys throw in the chat. I don't miss it. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna look at every single chat. I got to get through my focus list though, because I will get sidetracked. PGY, this actually shook me out as well. It's still doing very well. If you guys don't see it, this is your basing breakout right here, and this is your EPS and your sales growth. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Absolutely love this stock. I settled for a break-even trade on PGY instead of using my original sell rules of previous day. Yes, I would still be in it. Yes, my feet are a little wet. Maybe that's not how you're supposed to say this, but let me put it this way, folks. After that big win I took, I'm almost afraid to trade. And so I've been diving deep into the psychology of things, reducing my share size so that way I can stay on board. I've been pretty much break even since I've, cut hood. I've taken some small wins, I've taken some small losses, but I'm very, very tiptoey right now. And I don't think it's any real way, to trade. So I'm gonna keep it small until I feel like I have everything under a wrap, because, this break even trading, that's cool, but, I'm not here to break even. I'm here to make some FU money, okay? So, I'm just being for real. You know what I mean? I want enough money to be a philanthropist, I don't want much, neither does my wife, but we do like to help others. Anyway, let's go through the next one. PGY, still looking good. EPS and sales growth. If this thing sets back up, yes, absolutely. But it's the 21-day moving average. You can see multiple times it's held at that area. So I would have to wait for this thing to set up close to that 21. What's up, Jolene? It's good to see you. PL has earnings coming up soon. It's just one that's been trading sideways for quite some time. It looked, pretty promising, one of these, Planet Labs, and then basing out here. But it's just chopping sideways, just sweating on that 50-day moving average. We'll have to wait till after earnings. If it can gap up over all of this consolidation and show that there are more than what its forecast says for its EPS and sales growth, then I'll still be interested. If not, I'll be taking this off fairly quickly. Another one that we had at ONDS. Another one we have had was ONDS. Crazy EPS and sales growth. I'm not going to look into it to see how real it is, but it does look like they are gradually starting to get themselves out of that debt and looking much, much better here. What I liked about it was this base, plain and simple. I did not take the base breakout. Like I said, I've been letting a lot of things pass. ONDS. Looks good. It still looks good. It looks like it, pushed higher and now is trying to hold that 10-day moving average as it has before. So it's just bouncing off that 10-day and continuing to rise. Another one that I had, but I got rid of at break even as well, was this SHLS, just because we don't have the EPS and sales growth there. And it's more speculative. I have two other solar stocks that I'll be happy to go over. Harvey Divvy, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Can you review CMG? Yeah, we'll definitely review CMG and RUN if you guys can stick to the very, we won't say the very end, right after I get through this and the overall indices. We gotta get to the overall indices, and then we'll go over it all. AS, I'm getting ready to take this off my watch list. It's still just trading sideways. Fake, a fake breakout, and then it's just right back into its area of support. This might be the best time to buy. The EPS and sales growth are great. That's why we're watching it, but I much rather take, the basing breakout than, try and buy down here. We don't have the new higher low setup, and that's probably a good reason why I shouldn't have bought that one, but that should be off very, very soon. Okay, actually, Run is on my focus list. I actually own Run. So, Tom, if you're still here, throw me a W in the chat, because this one is an absolute banger. I love this one here. I believe Beefy Stew, he's hurting right now. Nothing but love and support for you, Beef Stew. I hope you get better soon, dude. His house is, he's running a zombie show right now, man. Everybody's hurting over there, but he'll always come out on top. So. RUN looking really, really good. And this is Sunrun Electronic Technology Semiconductors. These are specifically made for the design, development, installation, sale, ownership, and maintenance of residential solar energy systems. It sells solar service offering, installs solar energy systems for homeowners, blah, 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 blah. This is showing beautiful EPS and sales growth after it was down for quite some time. So it's a little turnaround story, if you will, and that's what I like to see, especially after a big beat down like that. So what I liked about this, not so much the EPS and sales growth, because we want to see, 2020, at least 20% EPS and 20% sales growth for me to really get a good reading on this. So I'm not saying this is a 5-star setup, but I played this run. We had a nice pop up here. Solar was looking good. FSLR was setting up. I wanted something that moved faster. This moves 9.37%. And we have a basing area right here. Look at that beautiful basing area. Let me just bring it up on show you where I bought it here. Let me zoom out. So right here, this right here, that red line is that basing area I showed you. And you can see right here, big push up on volume here. So this big push up on volume, that's where we initiated the buy. Let me tell you where. So we bought it at 1679. I can just show you right here. 1679 is just above this white area. So it's just breaking through here. And I was in it. I held on it for 2 days. And now I believe it's up like 8 or 10%, something like that. So it's doing good. It's doing really well. Yeah, about 8 to 9% it's up from where we bought it. So I do like Run. I do like Solar. I think Solar, if you look at TAN, I think Solar's looking really well. Run looks just like Solar with that basing breakout. Now, are we going to get a nice run after this? I don't know, but that would be great. I'd like to see a change. I'd like to say we caught a stock very, very early, and if it continues to follow TAN, I think Run can continue to run, but we'll see. The market might have a different objective. Let me get a sip of this coffee, y'all. What's up, Gary? The Gary and Charlotte Scrapping Show. Oh, that's good coffee. Libby, you still here, girl? I don't mind you're late. I'm just happy you're here. Make sure you guys vote on the poll. Let's do it. The question is the market too extended? We're going to be going over that very, very soon. Let me throw a couple more chats or a couple more tickers your way. We have Bloomberg Energy. If you guys aren't aware, this is the leader in your energy. It took over. It's doing absolutely beautiful, phenomenal EPS and sales growth. That's what you want to see in these Cam-Slum types of trades, right? How are you going to get into this? Well, you got to wait till it bounces off this 10-day moving average, sets up a base or a trend break. You don't want to buy at these highs right now. I mean, I don't want to buy at these highs right now, right? Because that's when it's going to pull back and it's going to stop me out before the 10-day moving average. So you got to wait on these things, but you definitely want to keep an eye on it, because if this leader starts to shudder or starts to shake, you might see weakness in the overall market. So watch for the pop and retest and continue higher. On which stock, man? On Run? I bet, are we talking about Run, G? You thinking we might get a retest on this? I don't see why not. We can easily get a retest on Run for sure. ARRY is another one on my list. Now, I don't like this one nearly as much because it hasn't broken out yet, or if you look at the overall sector, it's already broken out. So the TAN sector broke out, and then if you look at ARRY, I would say this one hasn't broken out as well, right? It's still stuck in its consolidation. Now, if you look at the EPS and sales growth, it's looking more promising, but it hasn't broke out yet. Now, you might say, hey, that might be one for the future. It's on my watch list, but I already hold 2 solar stocks, so I won't be taking this one, but I think it's definitely one we need to keep an eye on. Here's another big one. We talked about this. Actually, my JFA in the chat and I were talking about this, and we went back and forth. And I gotta say, he is absolutely right. This does not meet my criteria for trading, because I'm a momentum trader, right? I like to find that momentum and ride that momentum. And what I liked about this is just simply the price action. If we look at this big push up and the really tight consolidation and this break higher, I was in this, and then I recalibrated things. I wanted to use that 10, even though the 21 was still there. I had very, very minimal shares. Obviously in hindsight now, I kind of wish I would have held, but this isn't true to how I trade. But it doesn't mean that I can't have it on my watch list, but If I want to stay true to my leaders and only playing those leaders, I really do need to stick true to it. So Unity is kind of out of the question for me now. But I got to tell you guys, this is a beautiful looking stock. This was a beautiful basing breakout here, and now it's retesting this next area at 43, 45. And this, if it breaks through here, I mean, it's Rip City, baby, because there's not much price action inside of this area. You know, between 50 and like 90, you're not seeing much stopping this thing. So I still like it. I just can't play it. You know, I have a lot of cash right now. I'm probably 60% cash. But you know, Unity looks good. I think it's definitely one you need to definitely keep on your watch list, but I would not consider this a leader. It's far from that. NXT is another one that I own. I like this because this is the leader, or one of the leaders. Run really, you know, could really take the money, but if we zoom out here, you know, on NXT, if we really zoom out here, this thing's at an all-time high. Newer IPO, you know, back in 23, March of 23, and this is the basing breakout. So this is where I had bought it, right here at the basing breakout area. I love a base on top of a base, arguably. You can see this basing here on top of a base. So I'm going to continue to hold on to this because if TAN continues to run, this NXT, next tracker will do very, very well. I love the EPS and sales growth. So we'll see. It's a faster mover at 5.04%. We'll see if it wants to get up and running. And we'll look at First Solar. You know, it's not leading. It's not new all-time highs. Plenty, you know, of resistance up here. But EPS and sales growth are just fine. This is a real company. You know, I drive past it all the time going to visit my mother and father-in-law. They got a big-ass solar factory that they put up out there. But, you know, they're doing well. And if you believe in solar and solar's future, that it's going to get better, yada, 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 or that it's just too beat down and, you know, it can continue higher, I don't really care about solar. All I know is that I think we have an opportunity to make money in solar because it's starting to turn around. So that's First Solar. Just keeping an eye on it. Oh, VSAT pissed me off, right? VSAT, after this breakout, I didn't buy this basing breakout, mainly because of the EPS and sales growth, but truly I just missed it. I did not set my alert, but I love the price action on this. And look, it came back, it retested that basing breakout area, and I was looking at that and I said, I'm not gonna buy it, you know, and it soaked right on up. It's still looking strong. I mean, this thing was doing very, very well. Took off, you know, identified it very early. Excuse me. This is the telecommunications as well. So, you know, we really like that sector. RSI, that's another good one. Let me get a sip of coffee. Whew. Gotta stay awake. Coffee's so good. It's so good. So good and tasty. All right, RSI. This is what I really liked about this one. Look at this beautiful basing breakout, right? Not just that, but look at, it's like the 10-day is its floaty, right? This thing is just riding that so beautifully. And look, it's closed right on that 10-day once again. The EPS and sales growth are phenomenal. It does look like it's slowing a bit heading into October's future guidance, but you know, I like this. I like this thing. It's looking really good, right in that 10-day moving average, and if it continues to hold here, might be a great, you know, a great future mover. But I'm going to continue to keep this on my watch list. Not a trade for me just yet, but definitely one that we want to keep an eye on. This is another one we had on our watch list I talked about last week. I think Torque showed me this one. Look at this. This is your basing breakout right here. I'm not going to trade it until it breaks out of there. I'm not going to buy it here. I'm waiting for that basing breakout. But look, we can identify that 21-day moving average right here. It holds it so well. So this could be one of the best buying opportunities for WRBY, but I just don't trade like that. I haven't taken enough or seen enough of these trades just yet. I like playing the basing breakout because that's where the most momentum is going to be. It's going to capitulate through with volume through that area, and I can take it just at the right moment, risking a lot, risking a little to make a lot. Oh, Reddit? Yeah, we'll look at Reddit. Look at this beautiful thing. Look at this. EPS and sales growth on that fleek, or is cooking. I was called cringe today, so that's okay. Look at this cup. We're gonna get a handle off this. It's looking really good. Anywhere, we could get a handle anywhere. We could start getting a handle anywhere in this area. You know, we could take this and it could do one of these. Oh yeah, get really tight and then break off higher. This thing could just come straight up like this and bounce off and make a cup with handle right here before taking off. Or we could get what we always see and it just continues higher and does a cup with no handle. It continues to just head straight higher. So I'm just watching it. I like this base down here. A couple of people in the chat were talking about this. Holding and respecting that 21-day moving average very, very well. I didn't take it, guys. I didn't take it, you know. It's nice. Reddit was a hard one. So was Rocket Lab too, which I think we have on here. FTAI, this is another one that stopped me out as well. Still working, still holding the 10-day moving average. I know, right? You know, I just had to step back this week. You know, all these were break-even trades. So you can tell I'm like afraid to lose any of my winnings. You know, I don't want to be a break-even trader. And I know it, you have to risk some to make some. But, you know, I was in my own head last week and the week before, hell, all last month, just because I'm really shaky. I don't want to give any of those gains back. You know, it's mind-blowing what you can do in such a short amount of time. And when you start to compare how much money you made in such a short amount of time and how hard you have to work to make that same amount of money, that's why you need to just constantly keep reading and understanding and, you know, get into the psychology of things. When you make it to a certain point in your trading career, you have to get into the psychology of things. Let me give you a couple more, guys. TTWO, this is another one. Price action is king, right? You know, I got to get reminded sometimes, but here is your basing breakout area. If it continues to show that it is strong in this area, TTWO can break out higher. One thing I don't like is we have the GTA news delay. Then they prospected of supplement once, and then they had their CEO more than once. I think somewhere in this area and in this area again have sold billions of shares. Just on Thursday or Friday, they sold 7% of their holdings. So I don't like to hear that, but you can see they're expected a nice EPS and sales growth for November's earnings. And of course, as long as they don't delay Grand Theft Auto, if they don't delay Grand Theft Auto once again, you know, we'll see it. We'll see a lot of earnings from that. I mean, I'm an old man and I still feel like I'm probably going to buy a system just for Grand Theft Auto or a better computer because I don't know, I want to play it. I mean, I've played a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5 and I'm not even a gamer. You know, I'm not even a gamer anymore and I really would love to play that. So I think it's going to be from young to old. It's going to be everybody's video game and there's always going to be something to do on there. Nail, this is a 2x leverage. We're in it, baby. Your old man Beefy Stew showed me this one. I absolutely loved it. I had to take it. And it's doing its thing. And we'll go over that very, very soon. And we have a couple more. These are some very, very important ones. MIR had that earnings, EPS, and sales growth, yada, yada, yada. All that stuff came out. Look at this huge pop in the after hours, during the day, right into this basing area. EPS and sales growth looking really, really well as you can see here. So we're going to see what happens with MIR. And then these next two here, these are ones that I'm really thinking about getting into Monday morning as long as this continues to shape up. This thing looks beautiful. This base looks beautiful. I love the EPS and sales growth on this. I have my alert set on net. Right there at that 211 area. No, it looks like 214 is where I have it set. Yeah, basically right where it's at here. With EPS and sales growth like that, guys, it makes me able to sleep a little better at night knowing that, if it does come down and starts to retest that 21, I can go to sleep knowing that I'm less likely getting sold off into, or they're less likely to, sell off into me because they're growing, they're doing well. They don't need to dilute their shareholders in order to continue to run their business. And that just helps me a little bit to be able to hold overnight when I'm swinging bigger positions. So I like net, needless to say. And here's another one. I tried this one, and you know, I hate to admit it because I'm not much of a day trader. I try not to day trade at all. This thing got me in. I actually got in somewhere at the top, and I sold somewhere at the bottom, and the way I took it was not right. I lost more than expected. It's still only 0.5 of an R, but guys, when you start really diving deep into your trading, you want 0 mistakes. And so when I did make this mistake and I only lost half of an R, it was all by mistake. I know exactly what I did wrong. I've already went through all of this, but I got in knowing I was taking too many shares because I didn't have it calculated beforehand. Completely new mistake. And then by the time I went in there to readjust my shares and sell what I didn't want, I was already down a couple $100. So it is what it is. I just sold the whole thing because I flopped on the trade. And once I mess up a trade, whether it's making the order or anything, I feel like I get too emotionally attached and I just get rid of the trade. But I'm willing to restart tomorrow. If we get up above this area, I would like an opening range breakout on this. I love the EPS and sales growth. I mean, this is a killer stock, guys. And I really think that if we zoom out here and you look at this, this is something serious. This is one of those, you know, look at this. It's like a, let's see, August 2024. Yeah, this is over a year base with new higher lows, right? It's getting tight here. It's never gotten tight in this area before. It just failed. Now it's gotten up to that area, but didn't fail. It held. It's holding that 21-day moving average, and it's showing signs that 21-day moving average right now, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different spots. So we have a good area of risk reward if you set your mind to it and set your stops. We might have ourselves a nice trade. Let me know what y'all are sipping on tonight. I got myself, I got creamer in this coffee, guys. I do. I got some creamer in this coffee tonight. I put a little sugar and creamer in there because I ain't feeling so sweet. If only you could taste it. It's delicioso. And the last one is Rocket Lab, and we're gonna go over the indices. Rocket Lab holding the 50-day moving average. The last time I was here, it did well. We have future guidance showing EPS and sales growth, as well as it has multiple other times, so we'll see if it wants to hold. That 21 has shown true for quite some time. And once it broke it, man, that pop and reject, it's not looking the best, but I've said that before about Rocket Lab, and it's went much higher, so. Yeah, no, Libby, for sure. It's not the right time to be drinking coffee, but I was just so drained before I got onto the show, and I was like, that's disrespectful. I got a show to manage. So I made myself 1 cup of coffee, 1 average cup of coffee, like the size of my head, and yeah, it is way too late. Thank you. Thank you, Jolene. I switched it up a little. Maybe the creamer is what you need to smooth things out in your day. I don't know. But I tell you what, I don't like the sugar because it sticks to your teeth, and now I'm constantly licking them. All right, guys, we're gonna do something a little different now. I'm gonna run through the indices. I'm gonna do it quick though, and there's gonna be a little catch. We're gonna look at the monthly chart on all of these, and then if you guys have anything that you guys wanna go over, I don't give a shit what it is, throw it in the chat, please. I'd love to hear from you. Right now, I asked you guys to vote on the poll, is the market too extended? 27% say yes, that we are due for a pullback. 33% say no, this is just the start of it. 27%, I don't care, I'm taking it day by day, and 13% say, hi, Dave. Well, hello to you. If you haven't voted on the poll, make sure you do right meow, and we will continue. But right now, we are looking at only monthly charts. Yes, sounds a little different, but I've noticed something when I was looking on the monthly charts, and I hope you guys notice it too. The very first thing I want to look at is the S&P 500 futures. Anytime we have been this extended from the 10-day moving average, okay, and let me just measure from where we are at to where we are at, that's 6.84% extended from our 10 monthly. Anytime that we have been relatively close to that, we have snapped back and came much, much closer to that line. I mean, I can look at the majority of these. When we get these, we start to snap back. But what's beautiful about this is you can see once it gets to this area, it can slowly just continue to creep higher like this and stay that extended. But right now, just being a little overextended, we could get a snapback. We could come all the way back down and hit a basing area like this, 6,138. Now, I know I have friends that are in the chat that also think that we could easily get a pullback and come back to these areas. But that is why I want to tell you, it is okay if we get a pullback. We stop out on our trades, we manage what we have left, and we see what's strong in the overall market. So if that is true and we are to pull back, then we will be ready. And if we don't, we could continue to climb higher. Then I'm going to continue to trade because I am risk on as long as we are above a 21-day moving average. Next up is the Dow Jones Industrial. The moving average has formed a basing top here. So that the Dow Jones, your grandfather's stocks, your Cokes, your big boats of stocks, your Pepsis, your Amazons and Nvidia, all the biggest stocks that are out there in America, Dow Jones holds right here at this basing top. I like it. It's looking good. It's also looking a little extended from that 50. As you can see, every time we bounce off that 50-day moving average, now it's pretty extended, but still relatively close to the 10-day, the 10 monthly. But I like that basing breakout. Next is the NASDAQ. You can see we are also a little extended on that, but not as bad. We need to just hide these really quick. But yeah, you can see here, just a little extended from that 10-day. 10 monthly, I'm sorry. But every time we get extended from that, we always come back and we tag that. So just keep in mind, we can easily come back and tag that. The IWM, this is your Russell's monthly. Look at this. Is this a basing breakout waiting to happen? It's definitely looking like it, but best case scenario, I can easily see this thing pulling back and getting tighter before doing that. And you know, I sound very bearish right now, but I'm overall bullish in many, many different ways. But when we look at these tops on the indices, it doesn't make me want to go full bore. And that's why you see me about 60, 50, 60, 70% in cash right now because of this. Let's continue to look. Here's Bitcoin. Now, let me get rid of some of this garbage that we have on here. But you know, Bitcoin is looking really, really good in this area. Now, the pullback on the daily, not so much, right? But we are at a basing area still. This is still an area of support, this 110. You guys remember when we hit 100,000? I mean, I was live when we did it and we pulled back, right? Well, we ripped right on through it. Now we're coming back and we're in that same area. If we look at the monthly, you can see anytime Bitcoin really starts to rip, it tests this 10 monthly. Constantly testing the 10 monthly. Why can't we test not only the 10 monthly, but its basing area once again? So that's just another scenario for Bitcoin. Do I think it's going to pull back? It looks like it could, but will it? I don't know. The market doesn't give a shit what I think, right? So Libby, I see you. Zamora, I see it. We'll definitely be going over there. Going over that. Learning Q. OTLY, yeah, we'll take a look at that for sure. Another one's gold. Look at this. The gold is so extended from its 10-day moving average, and if you were to take a short right here, right, like a lot of people probably did, thinking it would come back down, maybe tag this 10-day, but gold has never ran up like this. According to the chart that I have looking over the past since 2005, gold has never been this extended for this long on this time frame. Or any time frame for that. But this was the basing breakout. We called this, I mean, if you guys have been with me for a while, we called this so long ago, but I didn't play much of anything because to me it was too slow. I'm starting to find out now, even these slower moving stocks, if you put a little bit into, even if I don't have money working right now and I'm still stuck in gold, I would be just fine, right? So gold, yes, very extended from that 10 monthly. Am I gonna fight this? No, I'm gonna wait for a top and then maybe find a short, but until that happens, I'm just gonna let gold continue to run. And right now, all the setups, the one I liked, FSM, it's still stuck in its base right here. So it's not my kind of stock. No EPS and sales growth, I should have never touched it. Here is your home builders. I am a part of home builders. This is why I took Nail. Nail looked very, very good. and it really started to shape up. So I ended up taking nail, which is a 3x leverage for home builders. But look at this. I do just want to point out, you know, we have this basing top area that it's going to run right into. So we're going to get some capitulation here, and we're going to, or some volatility here, and we're going to see what happens. But, you know, it's definitely one to keep an eye on. Also, look at your aerospace and defense basing out at this top. Look how extended it is from the 10 monthly. I could easily see this coming back and cooling off for a little bit. Now, I know I sound very bearish, but I'm always so bullish. I want to look at the opposite side, and I found it in this monthly. Now, XLF really looks like this basing area has broke out, and it looks very, very good. With the overall rate cuts coming, what is that, on the 17th, I believe, 15th or 17th? Let me know, guys. What's up, Jeff? Good to see you, man. But yeah, with the rate cuts coming out on the 17th, I really could see XLF taking off, as well as home builders. Okay, keep an eye on that. Here's your communications extended on the 10 monthly, but still looking really well, right? I mean, it's your leader, one of your multiple leaders in your sectors right now. XLC, Communication Service Selector, looks really, really good, but not gonna deny it. The last time we got this extended from that 10 monthly, that's 10% extension. The last time we got that extended, well, this actually went up to 15%. This thing really snapped back down, but we are in that area. One more day's push could really show a capitulating top, so we have to be careful. We have to be keen on what is going on in the overall market. Now, this is your consumer discretionary. This looks really good here. You know, this is a cup, didn't really break out with the handle. Here's another little mini right here. Not too extended from its 10 monthly, but still looking a little extended. So even if it gets tight within this area the next month, it still could be setting up. Your retail looks really good with this basing breakout in the monthly. It looks like it could continue higher. And then XLK looks like it's extended and has a basing top. As you guys had seen, it had, technology sector had really got to ripping, and then we found this area, just could not get over. This 267 area is its area we need to break out of, but when, you know, even if this traded sideways for the next 3 months, it would be better than pulling back and giving out all those gains that we've had, but it could just as easily pull back, so keep that in mind. XBI looks like it's finally trying to get up off this area. This is biotech, and if you look at the basing area that I've pointed out here, biotech, therapeutics, and healthcare all are looking like they're shaping up right now. I told you guys keep an eye on this stuff, as well as solar. And it really does look like something is about to happen here. Now, what's about to happen? Well, it might just run right back into this resistance here at 100 and then fail once again, or it might get tighter, hold new higher lows. I still think biotech has time, but you know, who knows how long this thing's gonna take. And here's your healthcare sector just as well. This looks a little sloppy, but if I just go ahead and draw this simple line, you'll see this is the basing area that it needs to break out of, now holding new higher lows, okay? So I think, you know, keep an eye on those healthcare, keep an eye on the biotechs, keep an eye on the therapeutics, because I think they really can take off. XLI, that's your industrial, just looking exactly like technology, to be quite honest, where you push up, you ramp up, and you smack your head on something hard. This seems to be 153.66. This is the area it just can't get through. So does this trade sideways? Does it pull back, bounce off its 10-day, or just does it yeet skeetily do and we just get a big push higher? I don't know. This real estate sector looks like garbage. It's getting really tight here though. It's got this beautiful base formed at 42.40. It needs to get above that. It needs to get above that before it gets out of its funk. I think it'll do well if it pairs well with home builders. Home builders are going to be doing well. They're probably going to be buying and selling a lot of different real estates in that same swift moment. Materials look like they're getting ready to break out once more, so keep an eye on materials as well. XLE energy is looking interesting, I should say. I love these new higher lows where it was getting really tight. I remember this was a while ago, it's like 5-6 months ago, And I was getting a little nervous because, you know, when energy starts to get tight and it looks like it's going to expand, you get a little nervous. You get a little, you think, you know, well, if energy is going to take off, usually that's one of those, the energy gets put on, people start putting their money in the safe assets. So you'll see energy start to rip up. You know, that big bull market we had in 2021, or is it 2022, excuse me, XLE did very, very well. Did very, very well. And I'm sure you can see it in the chart in the monthly. It's a little bit harder to, yeah, you can see right here. Here was 2022. You can just see it just absolutely rip here. And then it's just been holding sideways and trading off. So, but if we zoom all the way out here, XLE, I'm telling you guys, it's starting to look tighter. But I don't think it's anything to be concerned about right now. It's still got a lot more time. XLU, another one that's still holding that 10-day, but it looks like it's cooled off enough. Usually utilities do well when we start to get those rate cuts, which we are getting very, very soon, September 17th. This is the consumer staples. So I found this really, really interesting. And when I think consumer staples, you know, these are your food groups, all that BS. Look, guys, when I look at consumer staples here, we want to see consumer staples kind of slowly trickling down, right? We don't want to see them falling off the face of the earth, but when people start buying those staples, just like energy, when those are doing well, that means people are putting their money in assets that they don't fear are going to lose, right? And people need food, right? So your staples, the products that you need to survive, that's what this is. So this usually goes, it pairs hand in hand. It does usually really well in hard times, or at least trade sideways. But right now, I feel like this on this monthly time frame was what I'm trying to get at, is this is either going to break up or break down. And I think it's going to be doing it within the next month or two. So keep an eye on consumer staples. We'd rather see this head down while the overall market heads up, but you know, you don't always get what you want, okay? But I think that's all I really wanted to go over with the overall market sectors, guys. I think it's really important that we look at the bigger picture from time to time. So I think, you know, once a month we're going to have to do this because, you know, we want to get an overall sense of direction with this market. You know, if we look at the daily, that's fine. We can look at the daily all day, every day. I've been, you know, trading off the daily for quite some time. And if we just look at the daily, we just look at the S&P 500 futures, you can see as of right now, right freaking now, guys, I'm talking, you know, the futures. We are opening, if we open right now tomorrow, we are at the basing breakout, 6,500 in the S&P 500. It's very interesting. That is very, very interesting. This thing could really get moving again. Just when I go to the monthly, this thing looks very extended. So I'm getting kind of cross conviction here on multiple time frames. I don't like that. You know, I want to see price action through multiple time frames so that way we get a correlation which forms conviction, which then makes me want to put more money on a trade so that way we can make our account grow, right? I mean, I think that's the main thing. We're all here to make money, right? Good. Let's see. Let's catch up on this chat now, shall we? Let's go over your stocks, your trades, your stuff, and things. So that was your ETF and SPY review, as well as your focus list. I hope you enjoyed it. So we'll go through the chat now and we will catch up on everything. What's up, Carl Burr? I don't even think I gave you a shout out, man. Carl Burr, longtime member. Thank you so much for being here today, Carl. Cheers to you, brother. Oh, that's good coffee. Maybe a little water to wash it down. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I'm telling you, man. I'm loving it. What's up, Torque? How you doing, brother? Man. Torque's in here now. It's a party. I hope you brought some beers, Torque. Yeah, buddy. All right, let's go over what you guys got. Let me know in the chat what you got. If I have already went over it in the focus list, that's fine. Go ahead and ask about it again. We could do a deeper dive. If you want a deep dive into a stock and it's not an absolute piece of shit, just let me know in the chat. Say deep dive and then say XYZ, okay? Actually, XYZ is a stock now. It's Block. Block went from Cube to Block to XYZ. But so when I say XYZ, I'm talking about just put in whatever ticker that you want. Tell me if you want a deeper dive or analysis, let me know. And we're gonna go through it right now. I know you guys had a few. Harvey Divvy, are you still with us? Let me know in the chat if you're still with us, my friend. You wanted me to look at CMG. We'll look at it on a daily time frame. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this looks like Garbiacho. And I'm not gonna waste any time on this, unfortunately. This Chipotle Mexican has broke its 200-day moving average. It's heading much lower, much faster. Its RS rating is only 3, and it's sad to see because CMG was a leader in the restaurant business for many, many years. This looks like we went this area here. Oops. How do I do this? Here we go. This area here is your stage 3, and this is starting your stage 4. So this is your stage 3 by Stan Weinstein. This is your stage 4. What this tells me is this is definitely a stock that, let me just make sure when you called it out, CMG, let me see. Yeah, you just said can review CMG. So this stock here, you know, it's at a basing area. Sure, it can have a bounce right here because it's at a basing area, but I wouldn't try and buy it here because it's not strong compared to the market. What do you think would happen to CMG if you bought into this thing and then the market pulled back tomorrow? I can tell you this, there is no relative strength to the market, meaning if the market pulls back and starts to head down, CMG will probably head down much faster rather than hold up in a strong market. So you want to find stronger stocks, in my opinion, at least the way I trade. You want to find stronger stocks, something at least above its 200-day moving average. You want the 200-day moving average starting to curl up. So down here would be a better time to buy. It's starting, it's not curling up, it's starting to curl up right here. It's showing new higher lows, and you have a basing area that you can take a trade on. Now, yes, this isn't hindsight, but you just seen me go over many, many stocks, and right here, this is my exact trade, right? Rounding 200-day moving average. We're above all the moving averages now. You can see new higher lows here, 3 new higher lows, and a basing area to take a trade on. And sure enough, it did exactly that. Now, I probably wouldn't have taken this trade, to be quite honest, because earnings was coming out 3 days, 4 days, a week after that trade. But I do want to just give you a good example. Right now, we have no new higher lows, and we're below all moving averages. So this is looking more like a short to me than it is a long, but I'm hands off of it. And I hope that was, I hope you enjoyed that analysis, because honestly, I'm glad you asked about it, because I did not think Chipotle was taking this big of a hit. It almost makes me want to look at some of our other food stocks. What was that one I couldn't stop talking about last year, guys? And I was in New York, and they had, oh man, people were getting it and sending pictures in our chat. What damn ticker was that? I had a whole good restaurant list. We should probably go through that right now and see what's going on. Let's catch up on the chat though. Yes, so CMG, thanks for letting me know. Hopefully he was still in here. Harley Divvy, I just talked for an hour. He's not even in here. You know what I mean? All right, let's see what else we got, folks. Let's see. Oh, Libby wants to know what price I took run, RUN. Libby, are you still with us? Holla at your boy. 1679 for RUN. RUN. So right here at 1679. So just above the white line. I took it just above the Wednesday, August 27th. So just above that price action area. That's where I got entered, and you'll actually see where I entered, because you'll see the 5-minute time frame there. So, of course, she says. Bad and canceling. Brian Nicholas is no longer the CEO and was credited with its success. I'm gonna have to catch up on chat to understand what that was about. All right, let's see. Let's catch up on chat too. TTWO. Yeah, so yeah, I talked about TTWO earlier, Zamora. I don't know if you were here with us or paying attention, but we can go over it really quick. So yeah, TTWO, this thing, I'm telling you, it kind of hurts because I love this. I love Grand Theft Auto. I'd love to be a part of this. I like the EPS and sales growth starting to come in. You can see their November, numbers coming out look much better, doubling. So that's big news. But when you got the CEO selling 7% of all of his shares, that it doesn't give me conviction. You're delaying the game here, right? You're selling shares here, and now you're telling me again you're selling shares again, the CEO? 7%? Come on. I mean, I understand if it's for taxes, for tax purposes only, I swear. No, billions of dollars, folks. So, not really. Oh, Chipotle. Nicholas is the former CEO of Chipotle, is now the CEO. Oh, is he now, Libby? Very interesting. Let's look at S-Bucks. Let's see. And look at S-Bucks is getting their ass kicked too here. Gosh. Below a 200-day moving average. Oh man, there's a lot of money flowing out of some of these traditional, well, I call them traditional. Starbucks isn't traditional. Wow, how the media has warped my brain. Let's see. Let me catch up on this. Yeah, Take-Two Interactive looks good. Oh yeah, Roblox stopped you out too, Jeff Rosenberg. Stopped me out at 119 and then took off. Yes, no, RBLX. So without looking at what price you said you bought it again, and look at this best case scenario starting to set up here. This was the best case scenario I drew out like 2 weeks ago. If it came off of this 50-day moving average and held, look at this. Couple more days, this thing will be ready to trade, man. Let me throw this RBLX. Let me set up an alert here. So my alert is gonna be set right there at 133.71. That's where it's gonna alert me. I'm gonna keep an eye on that, and if it breaks out, that's gonna be great. But let's see, you said, oh, Kava, Yosef, yes, Kava, thank you so much, dude. Yeah, for sure. So RBLX stopped me out at 119 and then took off, you said. So 119. Okay, so for me personally, I wouldn't have taken it down here. And if you were going to take it down here, I would use the low of this, right? You would use the lowest low, but I can't take this because here I can't because it doesn't have new higher lows. But look, 1, 2, now 3 new higher lows if it holds and it's forming a base. It's like check mark, check mark, check mark, right? And then we could get a breakout area here. So if you're asking if that was a bad place to put your stop, I think that was, in my opinion, I think that wasn't the best entry. And yes, if you were gonna put your stop, if you were buying in somewhere down here, I don't know which day you took it, 119 is a great price, right? So it looks like you try to take a basing here, a basing breakout. I see it. So you got it at 119 here, which is a great price, but you have to use that low of that base if you're gonna be playing this, or the 50-day moving average, right? So I'm not one to tell you if that was a good or a bad stop out, but what I like to learn from this is it hasn't proven itself to me here. It's showing strength, and then if it gets tighter here, it's blue skies above us, right? With the sales growth that it has here, RBLX continues to show its true colors as a leader. So whether it was a good trade or a bad trade, or whether if that was a good spot to put your stop, I don't know. I'm not one to tell you, but if you learn from it, brother, then who gives a shit? Learn from it and make a better trade next time, dude. So congrats to you. I hope you did learn from it. Look, Doc, waiting on Bros to refill once it finishes dropping. Oh man, yeah, S-Bucks, Bros, and look at Bros. EPS and sales growth looks way better than S-Bucks right now, right? And their future guidance is pretty promising as well, but yeah, they're getting beat up below a 200-day moving average. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at Bro. That's an insurance company. See, I need to have another coffee. Okay, so this is looking good. Let me clean this crap up though, guys. Wow, this is looking ugly. My chart's looking ugly. I got this basing area at 71. That's where I have my basing area. It still looks like it's holding out. It's almost like it's testing that trend break area. It's trying to test it. Good EPS, good sales growth, 87 RS rating. I think it's underrated personally. I'm not, take that for a grain of salt because I don't have them around here. I haven't tried them. I don't know how you know, how they work, but I heard their lines are long and their coffee's good. That's all hearsay. So definitely one to keep on your watch list though, for sure. Let's see, SRAD. Yosef, what's up, my dude? SRAD, let's take a little peeky gander. Yeah, look at this beautiful thing. So this 21-day moving average showing it's being very responsible there. Back here on SRAD, which is a sports trader group, you can see it had a beautiful basing breakout area. It took some time to get through it, but once it did and it got hold, it did really well. Right now, it's kind of at a basing area. You consider this like its basing area, really. But EPS, there's sales growth here. Technology service and packaged software, but it says sports trader group. Very interesting. I like seeing these candles here. When you look at these nice growth candles here, same thing with the quarterly, that's what you want to see. So SRAD, definitely one to keep on your watch list here. Whether or not it's a leader, that's definitely very questionable, very interesting. I know that there's a lot of packaged software and technology services stocks out there. Like I've shown you guys frogs, there's TEM, IREN. Some of those are also linked with data processing. But there's a lot of stocks setting up like this. SRAD is one of those. Definitely one to keep on our watch list. I'm gonna throw this on the focus list so I can do a deeper dive later. Thank you for that, Yosef. Let's see, Libby Franchuk says bad end canceling. Brian Nicholas is no longer the CEO and was credited with its success. Okay, very cool. Yeah, Kava. So now we gotta go look at Kava, right? Let's take a look at Kava here. Yeah, look at this, man. I loved Kava back here, and I was kicking myself in the ass because I wasn't able to play the basing breakout, and it did well. Then I tried the opening range breakout in this. It did really well, came right back down, stopped me out for break even, and then took off. This thing is, you know, I haven't lost money on Kava, but I definitely haven't made money on Kava. Definitely one to keep an eye on, though, because it does still have very good sales growth here. So I like it. I like it. But do I like it here? Hell no. This thing did a stage 1, a stage 2, almost got back into a 3, broke out of it, entered a stage 2, entered a stage 3, then entered a stage 4. It's in a stage 4 decline right now. So I don't know where this thing is gonna go, but you know, the overall trend is down. The 200-day moving average is pointing down. So Kava, wow, you know, but thanks for pointing that out for sure. I haven't looked at Kava in so long, man. We had all eyes on Kava for a while, but I'm glad that we'll see you later. Maybe, you know, maybe it'll get back into a stage 1 and enter a stage 2. We'll be a part of that, but you know, we'll see. Oh, let's see. Loco. Is that the stock you want me to look at? EPS and sales growth below a 200-day moving average. You know, it needs to get above this 200-day moving average and show some EPS and sales growth. The RS rating is low too. It's just kind of chopping around down here at these lows, so I don't really care for it. Not my fave. Not my fave. I know you got better ones than that. Let's see, what else we got? The food looked good. Yeah, I do remember that. No, it's bad? What? Is Kava bad? Kava's food is not good? It's Mediterranean, right? I went on their website once when I was on here, and I looked at their food. I thought it looked good. Let's see. We're gonna look at it. Kava food. Kava Mediterranean lunch order. Look at this. What are we getting, folks? Steak harassa. We're gonna order it now. Look at that. That doesn't look good to you guys? Ah, nom, 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 nom. Ow. I'd eat it. Look at that. That looks amazing. Yeah, S-Bucks chart is very ugly right now. For sure. It is. It's probably because they got their own language. Like if you don't know the Starbucks language and you can't walk up and say, I want a mocha frappa maco macchiato sprinkles extra cream. You get too nervous now. An old man like me can't go there. Like, can I just get a ice water? And they like freeze and stare at you. Like, what's your name? A steak is better? From where, Michael? Where are we going for steak, dude? We have a Mancy steakhouse around here. right here. Look at this. You want a steak, baby? We got steak. Look at this. Oh yeah. Michael Anthony and I, we are gonna eat some steak for sure. TLN? We can take a look at TLN right after we get done looking at these beautiful steaks. Ooh, steak and a beer. Meet me here, folks. We're gonna have a steak and a beer. All right, Torque says back to work. TLN, let's take a little peeky gander at Talon Energy Corporation. Wow, now that's what you wanna see. This thing's a little bit slower at 3.53%, but there's a reason why Torque is bringing this up in our chat right here, and it's this beautiful basing area. As this thing, if it were to break out in the energy sector, this thing could continue much higher. Now the EPS and sales growth are a little wonky, where you can see some of these months, September through June, you can see the sales growth was over 100% multiple times. And you can see now for November, their estimate is actually lower. So they're kind of all over the place right now. You don't really know what to believe, but we do have a highest volume ever bar traded on August 22nd. That was a Tuesday, and you can see that was a nice move. It's keeping it new higher lows here with an RS rating of 98. You guys like price action. Well, right here, it's squatting right at that 390, that $390 to $400 area. If you get it within that area, you can use this 21-day moving average, or you can even play it like as a Darvis box if you wanted to. You know, you just draw a Darvis box in this area, just like this. Look at that. And you could play this area. Say you take your trade here and it comes down and you respectfully add, but make sure wherever you're at, your stop is below that 350. So that way you don't get caught out of the Darvis's box. You can add when it breaks through. You can stop out when it breaks down. So that's how Darvis would play it. Well, he was out there shaking his tail, but yeah, I do like TLN. I like it a lot. I wish there was better EPS and sales growth. I'd throw this bitch on the focused list for sure. What up, Loke Doc? Loke Doc Fell? I'd like to know what's behind that name. Are you a doctor? Are you a local doctor who fell? I mean, I need to know. We got to know these things. Answer the question, Loke. Answer it. Texas Roadhouse. What's that ticker? TXS? Texas. I used to know them all by heart. Texas Roadhouse, that's not it. Let me see, Texas Road. Give me the Texas Roadhouse symbol, y'all. Help me out, please. I used to remember, but I don't think it's anything close to related to what it actually was. MOB. No sales growth right now. What is this? Sponsored ADR? Just like a 2X open or something? End-to-end provider of cybersecurity. Okay, so one thing we need to note about cybersecurity is Hack's not doing so well right now. But if we looked at MOB, it does look like it's holding up really well. That 10-day moving average, look at that 10-day. Well, you'd want to use the 21 actually. Very important here. Look at that 21. Multiple times, every time it started to break out of this area, it holds that 21-day moving average. Look how tight that monkey got right here on that 21. That's what you want to see. Let me just do a replay on this. Like, that's almost picture perfect, dude. Look at this right here. Look at this. Like, that is nice. You have this, you know, look at this. Here's your basing breakout area. And look at it, holds the 21, creating new higher lows here. That dipped. That dipped a little bit. And then it gets really, really tight here. And then if we hit play, you know, you can see it just, boom, breaks right on through. Sucks it had the earnings, but then it comes right back down and retests that breakout area before heading higher. So I like it. It's a good mover. It's looking really, really good. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. MOB, actually, that's Electronic Technology and Aerospace and Defense. So I stand corrected. I don't know, but it says, okay, it must be, so cybersecurity and smart solutions for drones, robotics, and autonomous vehicles. So actually, that's why it's standing out so well, is because it's not significantly just in the cybersecurity traditionally. This is specifically for aerospace and defense, for the drones and all that good stuff. So very, very cool, very interesting. That's I'm gonna throw that on my aerospace and technology. Let me throw that up really quick. I appreciate you throwing that my way. Oh, we'll definitely keep an eye on that, because if that's a young company that might, you know, might start setting up in the very near future. So appreciate that. So at LokeDoc fell, oh, let's see. I'm a hairdresser and specialize in locks, deadlocking. When I started my lock educational channel, that's the name. Cheyenne Fell, LokeDoc. Oh, sweet. You got a channel? Let me, can I go to your channel? Let me see. Oh, I can. Oh, that's cool. All right, sweet. Sweet, I'll check that out. Hey, if you guys wanna check out his channel, it's right there. That's cool, man. Yeah, I didn't realize. I'll have to check that out. Cool, thanks, man. Love the braids too. Can I just show everybody? Look at that! I said braids, but like that's not braids. It's not braids, you freaking idiot. I like the picture though, man. Shout out to LokeDoc. I hope you're a good dude, because I'm like shouting you out. And I can't. Look at this. Yeah, boy. That's how my hair looks right now, y'all. Look how white my hair's getting, dude. Look at that. That's so cool, man. LokeDoc fell right there. I've always thought dreads were so cool. I would not look good with dreads at all. But if you guys are interested, go check them out, man. MRCY. Oh, look at that. Mercury Systems. I like the EPS and sales growth are starting to come in here. It's like almost the early mover to this. So let's read a little bit about Mercury Systems. Electronic technology and aerospace and defense. As you guys know, aerospace and defense are absolutely rocking it right now. So it's a technology company which engages in the delivery and processing technology for aerospace and defense missions. Its process technology includes signal solutions, display, software, applications, networking, storage, and secure processing. It operates through the following geographical segments. We're not going to go over that, but I like it. EPS and sales growth are starting to come around. And what do I like so much about this beautiful thing? Let me show you if you haven't seen it already. I like the base. It's all about the base. Okay? It's all about the base. No treble, okay? I'm telling you, it's all about that base. Look at this, guys. MRCY. Another absolute banger from your boy. Torque, MRCY. I'm gonna throw this up here. I gotta set my alert on this really quick. Man, I'm telling you, between B. Stewie, myself, Yosef, Torqued, Jolene. I mean, we are throwing some mega good charts out there for you guys. This is awesome. LokeDoc, absolutely. Jolene says, educational channel. Oh, perfect. That's what I like to see. Anything educational, anything people can learn from, I'm all for it, man. For sure. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Support each other out here. All right, I'm gonna end this poll. We already got 19 votes on it. I'm gonna end it. Right here it is. 37% of you have said, yes, we are due for a pullback. 36% say you're due for a pullback. 31% say no, this is just the start of a bull run. 21% say, I don't know, I'm just taking it day by day. And 10% say, hi, Dave. Hello to you. Thank you for joining. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button for me, baby. We're still doing it. We're still doing it big. But Mercy, definitely here. I definitely like this trade. New higher lows. This is getting really tight right here. Well, I shouldn't say it's getting really tight. It got really tight right here. And now it's really just pushing up on that base. It doesn't want to get any lower. I would say just 2 more days. If it gave me 2 more days, this thing would be just screaming 5-star. We need a little bit more EPS and sales growth, but I'm not going to argue with it. It's doing good. I like it, but see the low. Oh, RBRK? Yeah, for sure. So RBRK, you guys know I was able to play this one back here. We played this amazing cup with no handle because that's what was working. And I was able to play this. We got 11 R to R on this. These are the base breakouts that we're looking for. Here is another base breakout I am looking for, right? $93, $94. This area is the RBRK breakout area. Until then, I don't really care. I'm waiting for that. So let me throw that up. And the EPS and sales growth on this thing are phenomenal. I really like RBRK. I think it's a buy now, pay later. And if it's cheaper, right, to borrow money, it's going to be cheaper overall for everybody, for consumers, for, you know, mega corporations, yada, yada, yada. So this is 17 billion market cap. This thing could definitely break through this and head higher with an EPS and sales growth like this. So I'm going to wait and see, though. I want to see the 3 new higher lows. I wanted to see it get above all of this consolidation and know that all of this wind is at its back. You know, we want to get it moving. So I like RBRK. Thanks for bringing that up. I don't have it on my main focus list, but I think maybe I put that back on there. It's back on there now. Thank you so much for bringing that back to my attention. I think we really can get another good mover. You know, it's shown that basing breakouts, if you buy them at the right time on this thing, it really can move. So I'm willing to give it another shot. We'll see. So LEU, that is your, that is your nuclear. And if we look at the ETF NLR, we can see here nuclear as at a basing top right here. So it looks really, really good. On the monthly, you can see it's very, very extended, okay? So just know where we're at, on it. And then when we look at LEU, knowing that it was a leader in this market, it's at a very critical point. I like this basing area right here. If it can get above that, then let's go. But if it cannot and it rejects there again, this could be one of the best short setups because there is a lot of movement here on very little show, okay? The EPS and sales growth are pretty wonky. They're not making money though right now. They're not like a profitable company. So it's not necessarily one that I really want to be head over heels. But if we were just talking about price action, I love it. I love the price action. We got 3 new higher lows here. The RS rating is 99. It is in a very, very big leader section. What the hell am I saying? Let me get a sip of water. Holy shit. It is definitely in a sector that is leading the overall group, right? Is that a better way to say it? This basing breakout at 215-ish, 213-ish, this is gonna be the area we wanna keep an eye on. I like it. I hope you do too. Oh, thank you for Texas Roadhouse, TXRH. Yeah, see, so all these restaurant businesses they're still earning money, but they're cooling down. They're really starting to pull back here. So, you know, this could be one of the best places to buy because it's at an area of support, but regardless, it's just not how I trade. But yeah, thank you for that. We definitely know that the restaurant business is kind of giving up the cheese on this overall push. Torqued up, MGNI, nice little pullback to the previous breakout level. Let's see if it can go again. Yeah, so these are, I always consider it like this is the hardest time to buy these is on the pullback, but sometimes it gives you some of the best reward. Now, the EPS and sales growth, I like the EPS growth, but the sales growth is, you know, kind of really slowing down here. So kind of a sleepy trade, but excuse me. Here's your base, right? Here's your trend. It is retesting that basing area. If it holds that 21-day moving average like it did so well before, that's gonna be a good sign for MGNI. We'll see what it wants to do. This is in the packaged software technologies as well. Holy shoot, guys, it's 10:20 and rambling. Let's see here, UECI. I don't think I have that one. Make sure you check UECI. I'll check again. Are you trolling me, Loke Doc? Oh no, that was Jeff. Are you trolling me, Jeff? Loke Doc says that's pretty H&S for sure. Head and shoulder? Yeah, dude. Head and shoulders, knees and toes. Loke Doc says, scared of short. I tried once with TLRY and did the wrong move. Wow. If you're short in TLRY and you didn't make money, then be careful. Shorting might not be for you, because really, I'm not teasing. We've all done it, dude. We've all done it. But if you look at TLRY, I mean, this thing has been nothing but going down. So if you shorted TLRY, then you, yeah, shorting's not your thing. It's not really for me either. But yeah, if you're trying to short TLRY and it went against you, you bought at the absolute worst time, because this thing It just goes down. That's all it does, right? Oh man. I'm not laughing at you, dude, because I've done it too. Seriously. Oh man. That's just funny. Oh, UEC. Jeff, no trolling, dude. Just say UEC next time. So we can't look at the EPS and sales growth. They just look way crazy wonky. I don't think we need to. It's uranium. I think that's just how these stocks move. It's holding these 21-day moving average. The RS rating is 98. So if we're looking at price action, you can see it wants to hold the 21-day moving average, right? It's still looking like it's trying to hold the 10 here. So it's looking really good. To me, the basing breakout area was here. It would have been hard to hold on to if you would have bought it, if you were able to hold on to it here. But if you would have used the 21-day moving average, you'd still be in it. So I like it. It's retested this area. It might be the best opportunity to buy. For me personally, I'd want to see a longer base. I'm just not into the UEC. It's not for me because I want to see EPS and sales growth. I'd like to be in a profitable company, you know. And a lot of times too, when you're looking at a lot of these companies, they are in debt. You know, they are in debt. They're not making money. So, oh, I'm sorry. You made money. You just had no idea what I was buying or selling. Okay. Well, I'll tell you, you made the right choice on short and TLRY. So excuse me if I misread that. But, oh, I see. Okay, wrong move, sold. Oh, okay. I'm not sure puts and sells or buys, and I got freaked out and exited. Okay, cool. At least you knew when to wipe your hands, right? Good for you, man. Yeah, I mean it's tough, man. And I don't even mess with options too. I don't mess. I understand them a little bit, but I made some money off of options, but I wipe my hands clean. I don't like the time decay or anything like that. But look, guys, it's getting late. I've had an awesome night. Thank you so much. If you've been with me the whole time, make sure you've hit that like and subscribe button. Absolutely love you guys. We will see you guys next week, and I'll be in the Discord. So we'll see you there. Peace. All right, guys, we went over a little bit everything, my focus list. We went over the monthly ETF and SPY review, and then we looked at all the stocks that you wanted to look at. I hope you have a great night too, Libby. Thank you so much for being here. Jimmy Bright, thank you so much for your continued dedication. I really appreciate you. Yosef, I hope you have a good night, brother. Thank you so much for being a big part of this. Tom Holbrook, thank you for joining us tonight. Jeff Rosenberg, Loke Doc Fell, keep them brights held tight, my man. Torqued up, zing zing. Michael Anthony, thank you so much for stopping in. Jolene Martinez, thank you so much. I do appreciate you showing up, hon. You are the best. Let's see. Who else we got? Libby? Did I already say? I already said goodbye to Libby. Zamora, thank you so much for being here. You're the best. You're the best. What's up, my G? Thank you so much for stopping in, brother. The Charlotte and Gary Scrapping Show. Thank you so much for stopping in. Carl Burr, my man. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, a big shout out to your moderator, Beefy Stew. He's down. He's hurting. The rest of his whole family's been hurt. So send him some energy. Send him some love. We love you, buddy. We hope you have a good night. And yeah. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. Peace.